Did you know that a staggering 30 to 35% of people experience irritation or allergic reactions from scented toilet paper and tissues? Most of us assume that gentle scent means it's gentle on our bodies. But before you reach for that floral scented pack again, you might want to stick around for the rest of this video. Once you learn about the PFAS forever chemicals and formaldehyde lurking in those soft rolls, your bathroom routine might be due for a complete overhaul. Let's start with scented toilet paper, where delicate fragrance is far from actual skin safety. Former manufacturing insiders reveal a dirty secret. Companies add synthetic fragrance at the end of production to mask the smell of cheap, recycled pulp. How charming, right? But here's the hidden truth. That fresh scent is actually loaded with undisclosed phthalates, synthetic musks, and formaldehyde that can cause chronic irritation and respiratory issues. Medical studies have linked formaldehyde in paper products to burning sensations and allergic dermatitis. It's not just a minor inconvenience. We're talking about potentially serious health risks. One quality control worker confessed that when emission tests failed safety standards, managers simply instructed them to lose the paperwork and run it again. This blatant disregard for consumer safety is shocking, to say the least. Real people are suffering the consequences of these deceptive practices. A woman in Florida shared her story online about developing painful rashes that persisted for weeks after switching to a popular scented brand. This isn't an isolated incident. Countless others have reported similar experiences. What's marketed as feminine freshness is, in reality, nothing short of chemical cruelty. The problem extends beyond just toilet paper. Tissues, paper towels, and even some natural products can contain these harmful chemicals. Manufacturers often use vague terms like fragrance or parfum on labels, which can hide a cocktail of potentially irritating substances. It's a loophole that allows companies to keep consumers in the dark about what they really exposing themselves to. Environmental experts warn that these scented products don't just affect our bodies, they impact our ecosystems too. The chemicals in fragrance paper products can end up in waterways, potentially harming aquatic life and contributing to water pollution. It's a ripple effect that goes far beyond our bathrooms. So, what can we do to protect ourselves? First, opt for unscented, chlorine-free toilet paper and tissues. Look for products that are certified by independent organizations for environmental and health safety. Some brands are now offering truly natural alternatives, using plant-based materials and essential oils instead of synthetic fragrances. It's also crucial to read labels carefully. Be wary of products that list fragrance as an ingredient without specifying what it contains. If you're experiencing unexplained irritation or allergic reactions, consider eliminating scented paper products from your routine to see if it makes a difference. We shouldn't have to compromise our health for the sake of a pleasant scent in the bathroom. It's time to demand transparency from manufacturers and stricter regulations from governing bodies. After all, shouldn't we be able to trust that the products we use in our most intimate moments are safe? Remember, just because something smells nice doesn't mean it's good for you. That artificial floral scent might be masking a whole lot more than just the smell of recycled paper. It could be hiding a host of chemicals that have no business being near your body. Next time you're shopping for toilet paper or tissues, think twice before reaching for the scented options. Your body and the environment will thank you for it. Let's prioritize our health and well-being over a fleeting fragrance. After all, true freshness doesn't come from a chemical cocktail. It comes from making informed, health-conscious choices in every aspect of our lives, including our bathroom routines. So, are you ready to make the switch to truly safe and gentle paper products? Your skin, your respiratory system, and the planet are counting on it. Don't let clever marketing fool you. When it comes to scented toilet paper and tissues, what you can't see or smell might just be hurting you. Next up, scented facial tissues, where soothing for sensitive noses actually means a full-scale assault on your respiratory system. Let us pull back the curtain on this seemingly innocent household staple and expose the hidden dangers lurking in every box. Former employees of major tissue manufacturers have come forward with shocking revelations about the production process. They describe witnessing fragrance chemicals being sprayed directly onto tissue sheets, with absolutely zero safety testing for skin contact. This cavalier approach to consumer safety is just the tip of the iceberg. The truth is, Those lovely scents wafting from your tissue box contain a cocktail of endocrine disruptors and potent allergens. But you won't find any of these harmful ingredients listed on the package. Manufacturers hide behind trade secret laws, keeping consumers in the dark about what they're really exposing themselves to with every nose blow. The Environmental Protection Agency has sounded the alarm, noting that products labeled simply as containing fragrance can actually harbor dozens of toxic compounds. Yet tissue companies continue to exploit this loophole, prioritizing profits over public health. But it gets worse. Manufacturing workers have reported that customer complaints about sneezing fits and skin reactions were routinely filed away and ignored. One brave employee recounted how entire boxes of complaint letters were simply shredded at the end of each month, with no action taken to address the issues raised. The consequences of this negligence are far-reaching. A pediatric nurse shared a disturbing trend she observed: entire daycare centers reporting children breaking out in rashes during cold season. After extensive investigation, all cases were traced back to the use of scented tissues. These products, marketed as gentle and soothing, were actually causing widespread skin irritation among our most vulnerable population. Clean? Hardly. The only thing gentle about these tissues is how gently they're poisoning your family. With each use, you unknowingly exposing yourself and your loved ones to a chemical assault that can have long-lasting health impacts. But wait, there's more. Let us dive into the murky world of PFAS contamination, the toxic gift that keeps on giving for literally decades in your body. These forever chemicals have become a ubiquitous presence in our everyday products, and toilet paper is no exception. Industry insiders claim that PFAS aren't intentionally added to their products, but the numbers tell a different story. Recent testing revealed that a staggering 24% of popular toilet paper brands tested positive for PFAS, at levels ranging from 10 to 35 parts per million. These are not insignificant amounts, and the long-term health implications are deeply concerning. The hidden truth behind this PFAS contamination is multifaceted. It stems from the use of recycled paper, which can contain traces of these chemicals from previous applications. The packaging materials used in tissue products are another potential source of contamination. Perhaps most alarmingly, the production equipment itself has likely been contaminated for years, continuously introducing PFAS into new batches of tissues and toilet paper. This pervasive contamination is particularly troubling given the nature of PFAS. These chemicals are known as forever chemicals because they persist in the environment and in our bodies for extraordinarily long periods. They've been linked to a range of serious health issues, including cancer, thyroid disease, and immune system dysfunction. The tissue industry's response to these concerns has been woefully inadequate. When confronted with evidence of PFAS contamination, many companies have chosen to deflect responsibility or downplay the risks. Some have even gone so far as to suggest that the levels found in their products are too low to cause harm, a claim that flies in the face of growing scientific consensus about the dangers of even low-level PFAS exposure. Consumers are left in an impossible position, unknowingly bringing these toxic products into their homes and using them in the most intimate ways. The very items we rely on for cleanliness and comfort are silently contributing to a growing body burden of harmful chemicals. It's time to demand transparency and accountability from the tissue industry. We need stricter regulations on fragrance ingredients, mandatory safety testing for all components, and a complete ban on PFAS in personal care products. Until then, every box of scented tissues and roll of toilet paper represents a potential health hazard lurking in our bathrooms and bedrooms. The next time you reach for a tissue, remember, that soft, fragrant sheet may be doing far more than just wiping your nose. It could be leaving behind a toxic legacy that will impact your health for years to come. It's time to blow the whistle on this industry-wide deception and demand products that truly live up to their claims of gentleness and safety. Internal documents revealed a shocking truth. Companies were fully aware of PFAS contamination in their products, but chose to prioritize profits over safety. Whistleblowers exposed the hypocrisy of brands marketing themselves as chemical-free, while test results clearly showed alarming levels of these toxic substances. PFAS, or PUR, and polyfluoroalkyl substances aren't just harmless additives. They're linked to devastating health consequences including cancer, immune system damage, and pregnancy complications that can affect generations to come. This isn't progress. It's a deliberate assault on public health that will echo through time. Let us peel back the layers of deception and examine the true cost of that pristine white toilet paper we've been conditioned to desire. The manufacturing process is far from clean or natural. Workers on the production lines report extensive use of chlorine bleach to achieve that blinding whiteness, along with formaldehyde-based agents to prevent the paper from disintegrating when wet. But here's the hidden truth they don't want you to know. Chlorine bleaching creates dioxins and furans as byproducts, some of the most toxic compounds known to science. These aren't minor pollutants. They're chemical weapons against our health and environment. And what about that formaldehyde? It's not just there to keep your toilet paper intact. This known carcinogen is deliberately added to maintain paper strength. But at what cost? Repeated exposure can cause severe skin irritation and respiratory damage. Workers in these facilities are the canaries in the coal mine, showing higher rates of respiratory illness and skin conditions that can't be ignored. One former employee's story is particularly chilling. She developed chronic dermatitis so severe that she had no choice but to leave the industry entirely, her health irreparably damaged by the pursuit of the perfect roll of toilet paper. The evidence is mounting, and toxicologists can no longer turn a blind eye. Study after study shows the devastating impact of these manufacturing processes on both workers and consumers. Yet companies continue to prioritize their bottom line over the well-being of those they claim to serve. They market their products as pure and safe, while knowingly exposing us to a cocktail of dangerous chemicals. But the contamination doesn't stop at the factory doors. PFAS have been found in alarming levels in recycled paper products and even in the equipment used to produce them. This means that even when companies claim to be using eco-friendly, recycled materials, they may be introducing a whole new set of toxic chemicals into our homes and bodies. It's a vicious cycle of contamination that seems almost impossible to escape. The marketing machine works overtime to keep us in the dark. Sleek packaging and clever slogans promise us cleanliness and purity, while the reality is anything but. These aren't innovations designed to improve our lives. They recalculated risks taken by corporations willing to gamble with our health for the sake of higher profits. Every time we reach for that ultra-soft, brilliantly white roll, we're unknowingly participating in a system that values short-term convenience over long-term well-being. It's time to wake up and demand better. We need transparency in manufacturing processes, rigorous testing for toxic chemicals, and accountability for companies that knowingly put our health at risk. The pursuit of the perfect consumer product should never come at the expense of human lives and environmental destruction. We must question the true cost of our everyday items and push for alternatives that prioritize safety over superficial qualities. The next time you see that gleaming white roll of toilet paper, remember the hidden truths behind its production. That brightness isn't a sign of cleanliness, it's a warning sign of toxic blight. We've been sold a dangerous illusion, and it's time to flush away these harmful practices for good. Our health, our children's health, and the health of our planet depend on it. Let's demand products that are truly clean, not just in appearance, but in their entire life cycle from production to disposal. Only then can we hope to break free from this cycle of intergenerational poisoning and build a future where convenience doesn't come at the cost of our well-being. Next up, we pulling back the curtain on what really happens behind factory doors, where rigorous testing is more like rigorously ignored. Former employees have come forward with shocking revelations about production practices that prioritize speed over safety. They describe production lines where safety checks were routinely skipped to meet demanding quotas, putting consumers at risk without their knowledge. But it doesn't stop there. Insiders report a disturbing pattern of manipulating test results to create a false sense of security. When batches failed chemical residue tests, they weren't discarded or reformulated as you might expect. Instead, they were repeatedly retested until passing results were achieved, essentially playing a dangerous game of chemical roulette with people's health. Perhaps even more alarming is how these companies reportedly handled customer complaints. Rather than viewing them as crucial feedback to improve product safety, internal practices treated these concerns as minor losses, an expected cost of doing business. Quality control staff have shared that complaints were often brushed aside, with some managers viewing them as an acceptable trade-off for maintaining profit margins. This cavalier attitude extended to product formulation as well. When faced with mounting evidence of potential health risks, some companies chose profits over precaution. Proposals to switch to safer product ingredients were dismissed as being too expensive, despite internal concerns raised by conscientious employees. This short-sighted approach prioritized immediate financial gains over long-term consumer well-being and brand trust. The consequences of these practices are far from theoretical. Real people have reported real health issues. Some users have described developing persistent irritation and unexplained discomfort after using certain scented or treated products, symptoms that often improved after switching to unscented alternatives. These accounts raise serious questions about the cumulative impact of daily exposure to these chemicals, especially when applied to the most sensitive areas of the body. What's often overlooked in discussions about product safety is the potential for long-term chemical exposure through sensitive skin. Many consumers assume that if a product doesn't cause immediate irritation, it must be safe. However, the hidden truth is that these substances don't just cause surface-level irritation. They may be absorbed over time, building up in the body in ways most people are never warned about. This gradual accumulation of chemicals is particularly concerning because it can occur without any obvious signs or symptoms. By the time health issues become apparent, significant damage may have already been done. And because the effects can be subtle and develop over years, it's often difficult for consumers to make the connection between their health problems and the products they've been using. The industry's reluctance to address these concerns head-on only adds to the problem. By downplaying risks and resisting calls for more transparent labeling and stricter safety standards, companies are leaving consumers in the dark about potential dangers. This lack of information makes it nearly impossible for people to make truly informed decisions about the products they use on their bodies every day. Moreover, the cumulative effect of exposure to multiple products containing potentially harmful chemicals is rarely considered in safety assessments. While individual products might pass regulatory muster, the combined impact of using several different products over time could be significantly more harmful than any single exposure. As awareness of these issues grows, some consumers are taking matters into their own hands by seeking out natural alternatives or products with simpler, more transparent ingredient lists. However, without systemic change within the industry and stronger regulatory oversight, the majority of consumers remain vulnerable to hidden health risks. The revelations from industry insiders paint a troubling picture of an industry more concerned with protecting its bottom line than the health of its customers. It's a stark reminder that when it comes to personal care products, what you don't know can indeed hurt you. As consumers, we must demand greater transparency, stricter safety standards, and a commitment to prioritizing health over profits. Only then can we hope to see meaningful change in an industry that touches our lives and our bodies every single day. Did you know that over 40% of consumers report adverse health effects from everyday personal care products? It's not just a coincidence. Whistleblowers from major manufacturers have revealed that companies are fully aware of the long-term risks but choose profits over people's well-being. Women especially are bearing the brunt, developing mysterious chronic conditions that only resolve when they ditch the chemical-laden products. This isn't self-care, it's self-sabotage. So what can you do to protect yourself and your loved ones? Let's cut through the marketing hype and get to the truth. First and foremost, you need to become a label detective. If you can't pronounce the ingredients, or if the label just vaguely lists fragrance, that's your cue to put it back on the shelf. Those fancy-sounding chemical names aren't there to impress you. They're there to mask potentially harmful substances. But it's not just about what's in the product. It's also about what's not. Bright white, ultra-soft toilet paper and tissues might seem luxurious, but they're often achieved through harsh bleaching processes that leave residual toxins. These are red flags waving right in your face, telling you to steer clear. So what actually works? The answer lies in simplicity and transparency. Opt for unscented, unbleached, or oxygen-bleached paper products. These alternatives might not look as pristine, but they're far kinder to your body and the environment. And here's a pro tip. Look for products with certifications like FSC or EU Ecolabel. These aren't just fancy logos. They're assurances that the product meets stringent environmental and health standards. For those areas where your skin is most sensitive, yes, I'm talking about your intimate regions, consider taking it a step further. Bidets or washable cloth alternatives might seem old-fashioned, but guess what? Your great-grandmother didn't have to deal with recurring UTIs or hormonal disruptions from her toilet paper. Sometimes, the old ways are the best ways. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I love my scented products. Trust me, I get it. We've been conditioned to associate certain scents with cleanliness and luxury. But here's the harsh truth. That gentle scent is anything but gentle on your body. It's a cocktail of chemicals designed to mask other chemicals, creating a vicious cycle of irritation and dependency. But it's not just about changing our buying habits. It's about changing the entire industry. We need to demand ingredient transparency from manufacturers. Your health and safety shouldn't be a trade secret hidden behind vague labels and clever marketing. These companies have been playing fast and loose with our well-being for far too long, calculating that potential lawsuits are cheaper than reformulating their products. It's time to send a clear message. Our bodies are not testing grounds for your cost-cutting measures. We're not willing to sacrifice our health for your profit margins. Every time you choose a safer alternative, you're casting a vote with your wallet. Every time you speak up and demand transparency, you're part of a growing chorus that can't be ignored. Remember, this isn't just about you. It's about your family, your friends, and future generations. We've been unknowingly exposing ourselves to a chemical onslaught in our most private moments, and it's time to draw the line. Your intimate health, your respiratory system, your skin, they all deserve better than what these companies have been offering. So the next time you're standing in the personal care aisle, overwhelmed by choices, remember this. Simplicity is your friend. Unscented, unbleached, and transparently labeled products are your allies in this fight for your health. Don't let clever packaging or enticing scents sway you. Your body will thank you for making the switch. And let's not forget the power of community in this fight. Share this information with your loved ones. Educate those around you about the hidden dangers lurking in their bathroom cabinets. The more we spread awareness, the stronger our collective voice becomes. This isn't just about personal care. It's about taking care of each other and demanding better from an industry that has taken our trust for granted. So let's make a pact, right here and now. No more compromising our health for convenience. No more accepting vague labels and hidden ingredients. It's time to reclaim our right to know what we're putting on and in our bodies. Your health is your wealth, and it's time to invest wisely. Don't let gentle scent marketing fool you again. Make the switch to safer alternatives, demand transparency, and be part of the change. Your body, and the bodies of those you love, deserve nothing less. If this message resonates with you, don't keep it to yourself. Tap like, hit subscribe, and share this video far and wide. Together, we can create a wave of change that no company can ignore. Your health is worth it, and so is the health of everyone you care about. Let's make personal care truly personal again.